I have two
Amazing.
questions.
I'm listening.
The first question is, if you told it, I didn't hear it, sorry, because I was to the other room. How you decided to join the Rotary Peace program is the first question. And how we can also apply to this program. Thank you.
So unfortunately, at the moment, you cannot apply because Rotary is doing that also strategically and covering continent by continent. So they did it in America. They did it last year in Europe. And next year, they're moving to Africa and Australia and Asia. And after that, they will be covering Australia. So I think that after they go through all of that, they will be going for another round. How I decided to join, to apply, I mean, it's a whole process. I remember being so stressed because I've been through a couple of peace education programs. And most of the time, the only thing you need is some kind of proof that you are a member of Rotaract Club, right? I remember opening the application form and calling my fellow Rotaractor, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm applying for like a training with Rotary or I'm applying for Harvard University, because the application form was like 11 pages long. You had to write essays and stuff. Actually, a mentor of mine, my mentor, a very dear person for me, is Mr. Thomas Carlisi. He's peace chair to District 6690. That's Ohio in United States. I've been working with him for past 3 years on a couple of peace projects and education programs regarding the nonviolent communication I asked Lilyana about. And actually, he told me that this program is starting in Europe. And he just texted me the link and he was like, I think this is something you would be interested in, and I think this is something you should apply for. And that was training of trainers. So we are all trainers and our job is to work with each other and to give presentations like this, to introduce the concept, to be there for Rotaractors, to help them when they are starting a peace project or anything peace related. So guys, if you ever start working on anything peace related, you have my contact now. I'm here to help in any way I can. We had 35 people on the training from whole Europe, and only 6 of us were Rotaractors. So, and I remember the first session, I saw 3 Rotary Peace Fellows, people who had their PhDs in peace topics. And I was like, pinch me, you know, is this real? I mean, we are equal here, like we are doing the same training. And I remember first 2 sessions, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not sure how I ended up here, you know, but it was a really intensive training. As I said, it was 9 months. You are studying, you have some homework, you have tests, you know, it's like a course at university. And in the end, we had to to come up with a proposal of a project. And I have to say, I'm really proud because my team, we worked in teams of 3 or 4. My team is the only one which executed the project. So we did it. We had a guy who is British, who lives in Bolivia, flying to Belgrade to do a workshop about peace building and dialogue. So that was really crazy. I remember when we ended, it was the whole weekend, 6 hours a day and everything. And he's a peace fellow as well. So it was really amazing. It's a really nice opportunity to meet people who have experience and who have none experience, who are all around the world. And yeah, I think we proved that nothing is impossible. We just spoke on Zoom like this. And we were like, we should try to do this project actually. It shouldn't be just a proposal, it shouldn't stay on paper. And we were like, let's try to get some funding. We got funding in 3 days. And in month, a guy flew from all the way from Bolivia to Belgrade to do a workshop with me. So it was, like it was a brief decision like this. I opened the link and I was like, this is really interesting. I would like to try to apply. But I have to say that after seeing the whole application form, I was pretty skeptical because, you have to grade yourself a lot from 1 to 5. I gave myself like grades 2 to 3, because and stuff. And I was like, there's no way they're accepting me. But they did. So you can do Rotary's Positive Peace Academy. It's really brief. It covers basics, and you do get the certificate that you've passed. You do like you have. If I can recall correctly, 4 chapters, 10 minutes of reading, and then you answer 8 questions. And if you have 80% or more, you get the certificate. So that is a nice training as well. And as soon as we are done with Q&A, I will share that link with you. It is online. So while you're having your coffee, you can do that.
Thank you so much, Diana. So guys, again, very, very big thanks to Tijana Ristic from Serbia. It happens to be my turn, it seems, for my presentation. Just give me a second to share my presentation with you. So I hope everybody sees it. So again, hello to everybody. First, I would like to introduce myself, as my presentation in the seminar is a little bit of a surprise to everybody. Also, I believe it's very important to understand as much as possible about who we are speaking with. And please remember this word understand and understanding, because it will be a very important word later on in my presentation. So my name is Petar Petkov, as you already know. I am a member of the Rotaract Club of Kardzhali. I am almost 30 years old. In terms of education, I am a civil engineer, but I have never worked as such. I studied both in Sofia, civil engineering, and in Vienna as well. Regarding to what I do as a living, I am a small hotel owner, both in Bulgaria and in Greece. And of course, regarding my wife as a member of the Rotary family, I can now proudly say that I have been a member of our amazing organization for more than half my life. So I started my Rotary life when I was in the 8th grade as a member of the Interact Club of Kardzhali. That was a very long time ago, in 2006. After that, I joined the Rotaract Club of Kardzhali and have been a member since then. So 16 of my 30 years, I have been a Rotary member, president, secretary, and everything that you can imagine. I have already attended 3 Rotary International conferences in Sydney, Australia, in Tokyo, Japan, and in Toronto, Canada. So enough about me. Today I'm going to talk to you about tolerance and acceptance. So here we have tolerance and acceptance, which are two words that we very often use together, but we don't really think about the fact that those two words are very, very different in terms of their meaning. So let's define those two words. What is tolerance on one hand, and what is acceptance? And here I'm going to show you how those two words are defined in the dictionary. Of course, I'm not going to put in their literal physical meanings, like let's say I'm tolerating the tropical heat very well, or you know, like we're Balkan countries, like I'm accepting a bribe. So we're going to talk about their meanings. So how is tolerance defined in the dictionary? Sympathy or indulgence for beliefs or practices differing from or conflicting with one's own, or the ability or willingness to tolerate the existence of opinions or behavior that one dislikes or disagrees with. Then, on the other hand, we have acceptance, the act of accepting something or someone, and the quality of state of being accepted or acceptable. So, I'm going to give you a moment to think about those definitions again and let them sink into your minds. We have two words that it turns out are very, very different from one another. So tolerance is the willingness to tolerate the existence, opinion, or behavior of someone you dislike or disagree with. And acceptance, on the other hand, is the willingness to accept something or someone who is different from you. And because I believe there is no better way to make a point than sharing your own life experience, let me tell you something about myself. As a person who grew up in a white, straight Christian family in Europe, I have always been told by my parents and my society that I should be tolerant of others. Others who are different than me and who have a very different life than mine as well. Nobody really told me that it's a much, much better idea to learn to accept